When pressed through his lawyer, McGaw denied that any market money had been delivered to him. Despite his denial, one of our sources claims Joe McGaw keeps all the Hillview market money for himself, but several others said a significant amount of market money would go to the UVF.
Some of the money made at the market on his side would be going to the organisation, but there's no way McGaw would be handing it all over. He'd be keeping a slice for himself, but it'd have to be going to the UVF or he wouldn't be breathing.
After the apparent money drop, the Undercover team follow the car back to the market. Paul Shaw is now about to usher sellers and traders off the site. And so concludes another successful day at Hillview Market. But it turned out to be one of the last days of business. Because a few days after Spotlight sent letters to all the key players in the Hillview saga, alerting them to the investigation and seeking a response, the market was shut down. This is the Facebook page which claims to be run by the operators of the market, called Crumlin Road Car Boot Sale. It says, "Folks, it is with deep regret that we must inform you all that the boot sale will be suspended from now until we secure a new venue."
The men at the top are making money from a market that should never have been there. And all that matters is money.
Paramilitary elements continue to exert control over some communities and parts of Belfast.
There are those who, unfortunately, at the top end of the spectrum, are benefiting too much from the ongoing existence of those organisations, that they love the position of power and what that brings with it.
Last year, Belfast City Council voted on whether or not to go ahead with the retail plans for the site. The vote was divided right down the middle.
The vote split almost entirely along sectarian lines. All the unionist members of the committee voted to support the retail application, and the non-unionists, with one exception, voted the other way. The one exception made the difference. The vote was 7-6.
Trevor Lunn is among a number of politicians who claim that any type of development in North Belfast is always political.
This is the crux of the question always in North Belfast, as to what extent decisions around new housing or replacement housing are influenced by political considerations. It is hard to escape the feeling that this was another one.
But unionists insisted the retail option was the only one put before the council.
We have no planning applications in for those sites for social housing. Now, I think that there would be an argument that you could put social housing on those sites, but where are the applicants? Who's going to do it?
For most of this decade, North Belfast has remained the only Westminster unionist seat in the city. The last two elections saw unionists return to Westminster in South as well as East Belfast. But further social housing here, when the demand is overwhelmingly nationalist, could potentially unseat unionists in North Belfast for a generation.
The vast bulk of the waiting list in North Belfast contains what you'd have to call Catholic nationalist residents. So that site would almost inevitably be populated by people from that background. The demand on that side of the sectarian divide is much greater than it is on the other side. And there's a feeling amongst, I think, unionist politicians that they don't want to see the balance upset.
Hillview Market operated unlawfully for over 10 years. When Spotlight started asking questions, it shut down. Tonight, a rates bill, that's money owed to the public purse, remains unpaid. The authority responsible claim it's still trying to figure out who to send it to. But it does know that it's owed just shy of £25,000 for last year alone. As Spotlight has shown, Joe McGaw and his gopher, Paul Shaw, may be the people to ask.